Hi, I'm Kira, and welcome to Saturdays on Showit. I hope you're comfy, I hope you're in your favorite workspace, and I hope you're ready to learn something new on Showit. Today we're going to start going over the back end of Showit, so log in and let's get started. Alrighty, from your account management page, you're going to click on the Showit Design app, aka this Edit My Website button. We're going to start by adding 2 designs to your Showit library. So if you're starting with a new account, you'll see a page like this. This is where you can see all of Showit's free designs. Or if you click over here, you'll see all of your designs. So we're going to click on the Add Design to Library button on the top right corner. You're going to go ahead and copy and paste that golden glow template key. And then click Add Design. And then you're going to click Start with this design and close. Now just refresh and you'll now see that in your designs. And then you can do the same thing with the bear template. This bare template is just going to be a blank template base for you to easily start your website designs. And the Golden Glow template is just a one-page design that I made to walk you through the different features of Showit. So we'll go through the back end of Showit in sections. Today's focus is going to be about the Site tab. So let's click on the Golden Glow design and get started. I figured it'd be easier to start with the design and walk you through the back end of Showit so that you get acquainted with everything before we start the design from scratch. So when you first come into the back end of Showit, it's normally going to be a split screen like this. And this will show you the desktop view and the mobile view of your website design. And it'll be on whatever page you have set as the home page. Right now we're on the Page tab. So we're just going to click on the Site tab. Now the Site tab is going to give you an overview of your website. You have different settings at the top up here. And then you'll have the different pages of your website, blog templates if you have that option, and then site canvases and your canvas sets. And I know that sounds like a foreign language right now, but don't worry, we're going to go through it slowly. Starting at the top, we have your site settings. Now, usually when I'm designing a website, I don't mess with this until the very end, and I'll do the same with y'all, but for right now, I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough. So this is where you can add a favicon image, and that'll be that little image that you see on your search bar in your little search tab. You can create a name for your website. Just name this Golden Glow. Add a language. If you start typing in your language, it'll come up. You can click on it there. Now, I've created a new account just to show you how to walk through everything and get you acquainted. But if you already have an account that you subscribe to, this is where you would follow the instructions to create your custom domain. And then you're going to see a whole bunch of different URLs on the side over here. None of these really matter except the publish URL. This is going to be the URL that you send out to people for your final website. And you'll see that, oh, and yes, before you move on to anything, you'll have to save. You'll see that you'll have the custom domain. You'll find that stuff here. Your URLs. This doesn't really matter though. Moving on, you'll have your blog. Once you subscribed, if you have a blog option, you'll have a way to connect to your blog and just follow those instructions. The social is where you'll add all of the social links to your social profiles so that when people click on the footer down here and they see these little icons, it'll take them directly to your social profile. And lastly, we have integrations. This is where you can connect different things to track your website metrics. So you'll have like Google, Meta, and Badao. Moving on, we have your design settings. Now, this is where you set up all of your design elements so they are consistent throughout your entire website. When you first click on the design settings, it'll open up with your brand colors. You will need the hex codes for each color, or you can add in the RGB number. So hex goes here, or if you have RGB instead, you can put that here. But you don't need to do both, you can do either or. I find it easier just to do the hex code. It's best to start with the darkest color and work your way down to the lightest color. And this last color is always going to be your background color. If you don't have 8 brand colors, I recommend that you just add different tints and shades of your website. Sorry, add different tints and shades of your established brand colors. Now, the next tab you need to do is going to be your fonts. So, Showit has access to all of Google's free font library. You can scroll through them here, but I find it easier just to go on Google's website and figure out what you want first and then just search for it here. Then, once you're ready, you can add the font that you want. You can click Add Google Font and then make sure that you click Save. I don't actually want these, so I'm not going to click Save. Alternatively, you can upload your own custom typeface. So you would upload a font here, and you would have to upload it into your media library first, and then you could select it here, or you could select it here. You would just want to make sure that you name it so you actually know what it is. So if it's a bold font, italic, bold, italic, make sure you're naming it appropriately. Check this box to confirm that you own the license to this font, and then you would add custom font and click save. But again, don't want to save that. Now the next tab we're going to go through is your type styles. This will be where you set up all of your font selections into the hierarchy that you want. So we start with title, and you select the font that you want. I've already have these set up already, but you would just select the font here. You change the color, and you'll notice that when we get to the font size, that you'll see these little icons above it for mobile and desktop. So the cool thing about Showit is that you can have a split effect for different screen views, meaning that you can adjust something on mobile without it affecting desktop view and vice versa. So text size is one of those elements that's always going to be something you'll have to split so it fits the appropriate screen. And you can do this for almost anything though. So like if you wanted to change the text color on mobile so that it's different from desktop view, you can. You just hover over the color, click these 3 dots, and split mobile and desktop. And now you can change this to another color. And it looks completely different on both views. But if you want to merge it back, you can either merge so that it's using desktop and it will merge back to the color of the desktop. Vice versa, you could merge it so that it was going to fit mobile view. And so now it matches mobile. So technically, you could have a completely different website design on your mobile devices versus desktop/laptops. Not really advisable though, just for brand continuity reasons, but technically you can. Anyways, so we can go through all of these different settings. We have line height, space, letter spacing. You can change the letter case if you want it to be uppercase, whatever. Just go through these different settings. Now, the one thing I recommend is enabling this link so like to preview, and so you can see how your inline links are going to look. I don't know why it's not automatically like that. I feel like that makes more sense, but yeah. And then you would just do the same and change the settings for your heading, subheading, and paragraph. And now the last thing, I know earlier I said that on your brand colors, number 8 is always going to be your default background color, but you can actually change that here. So if you don't want that color to be your default brand or background color, you can change it here. Now the last thing to cover is going to be buttons. If you click on this button tab, this is actually a pretty newish feature. You'll have 2 button options. You'll have primary and secondary button. And you can change the background. It can be a color like or a gradient. Change that color here. Change the text color here, and then your font. Of course, we have your text size again. You can make that different. Padding is going to be how wide in how long you want your button to be naturally. And you'll have a border color, and you can adjust the border size here, letter spacing, line height. You can make this a perfect square or a rectangle, I should say. You round the edges, or you can make it an oval. If you're going to use this option for the rounded edges, you can control how much you want to round the edges here. Add a drop shadow, change the opacity, and then you can just update the settings for your secondary button as well. Obviously, make sure to click save, but I'm going to exit without saving. And then we have your media library. So this is where you upload all of your files. That'll be things like your font files, make sure they're .wav files, photos, and MP4 videos. Photos and videos cannot be larger than 8 megabytes though. You'll click here to upload all your files. You can create different folders. So if you can have one for fonts, you can have one for if you're a photographer, different portfolios. Doesn't matter, the world's your oyster. Organize how you want. And now I think this is going to be a good stopping point because it makes sense to lump everything else in a separate video together. So I'm going to end it here for now. So we're going to stop with the media library today. We'll continue on with the pages and the rest of your Showit backend on our next Saturday together. Bye for now, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.